Well folks, buckle up, it's been another wild week in the wonderful world of Elon Musk. This time, the digital dumpster fire is blazing particularly brightly over at X, formerly known as Twitter. Remember when changing the name of a chocolate bar caused a national meltdown? This is kinda like that, but with more billionaires and fewer delicious treats. X has been experiencing some, shall we say, technical difficulties. We're talking outages, glitches, the whole 9 yards. Imagine trying to tweet your hot take on the latest avocado toast trend, only to be met with a spinning wheel of doom. Not exactly the free speech utopia Musk promised, is it? Naturally, our dear Elon had some thoughts. And by thoughts, I mean he took to what remains of Twitter to blame it all on a massive cyber attack. Because when a global platform built on the fragile architecture of ones and zeros experiences a hiccup, it's definitely hackers, and not, years of underfunding and questionable management decisions. So grab your popcorn, folks, this is gonna be good. Now these weren't your run-of-the-mill, we're trying to refresh Twitter, we're so sorry outages. We're talking tens of thousands of users globally locked out of their accounts. People couldn't get their daily dose of celebrity feuds or argue with strangers about the Oxford comma. It was chaos. Musk, never one to let a good crisis go to waste, pointed the finger directly at a coordinated attack originating from, wait for it, Ukrainian IP addresses. Now I'm no cybersecurity expert, but even I know that blaming a country currently fending off an invasion for your own platform's instability seems a tad convenient. And, as if on cue, a pro-Palestinian group called Dark Storm popped up claiming responsibility. They're basically the online equivalent of that friend who shows up late to a party and immediately tries to take credit for the awesome playlist you carefully curated. But here's the thing, cybersecurity experts are calling shenanigans. They're saying the outages look more like the result of internal technical issues. You know, the kind that might crop up when you fire half your staff and replace them with interns who think coding is something you do on a weekend getaway. So while X was busy imploding, what was our fearless leader up to? Was he huddled in a room with his best engineers trying to fix the internet? Was he crafting a heartfelt apology to users? Of course not. He was busy doing what he does best, tweeting through the pain. And by pain, I mean the pain of everyone else who couldn't access their accounts. This is a man who once tweeted about the importance of free speech, while simultaneously banning journalists who criticized him. Irony, meet Elon. In the days leading up to the X-pocalypse, Musk went on a real humdinger of a Twitter bender. He picked a fight with Vladimir Putin, because who hasn't? Made some rather interesting comments about sex change surgery, and even found time to blame the Biden administration for delaying a SpaceX astronaut rescue mission. Because when your company is on the verge of collapse, the best course of action is definitely to alienate world leaders, medical professionals, and, anyone who might have voted for the current president. Section 4. Government Musk, Business Musk, Twitter Musk, can one man juggle it all? This latest debacle shines a light on a question that's been plaguing humanity ever since Musk slithered out of the primordial ooze of Silicon Valley. Can one man actually do it all? I mean, the guy's running multiple companies trying to colonize Mars, and apparently moonlighting as a geopolitical analyst in his spare time. It's enough to make even the most ambitious overachiever spontaneously combust. And let's not forget about his little side gig as co-leader of the Department of Government Efficiency, because what screams efficient government more than partnering with a man who once named his child a series of mathematical symbols? Unsurprisingly, his foray into the world of politics hasn't exactly been smooth sailing. Rumor has it that a recent cabinet meeting devolved into a shouting match, resulting in Trump, yes Trump, demoting Musk to an advisory role. Look, I'm no expert, but it seems like maybe, just maybe, trying to juggle the future of humanity with running a social media platform and picking fights with foreign leaders might be a tad much. Even for someone with a supposed IQ higher than the national debt. Section 5. Tesla on fire, SpaceX explodes. Just another week at the office? As if the explosion wasn't enough, Musk's other ventures haven't exactly been immune to the chaos. Tesla, his electric car company that somehow managed to convince people that self-driving cars are a good idea, saw its stock plummet faster than a lead balloon in a hurricane. Apparently, people are starting to realize that maybe, just maybe, paying an exorbitant amount of money for a car that might decide to drive you into a ditch isn't the soundest financial decision. Who knew? And if you thought things couldn't get any worse, a SpaceX rocket decided to celebrate the week's festivities by, well, exploding. Because when you're trying to convince people that space travel is the future, nothing inspires confidence quite like a giant fireball lighting up the night sky. It's all enough to make you wonder if Musk's superpower isn't innovation but rather some kind of cosmic ability to attract disaster wherever he goes. Section 6. The Fallout. What does this mean for Musk, X, and the world? So, what does all this chaos mean for the future of X, Elon Musk, and, dare I say it, humanity? Well, if I had a crystal ball, I'd be writing this from my private island instead of this dimly lit studio. But if the past few years have taught us anything, it's that when it comes to Elon Musk, the only thing predictable is his unpredictability. He's the human embodiment of a choose-your-own-adventure novel, only instead of turning to page 37, you just refresh Twitter and brace yourself for the latest absurdity. Will X survive this latest PR nightmare? Will Musk finally crack under the pressure of running an empire built on memes and questionable business decisions? Will someone please check on that poor SpaceX intern who's probably single-handedly responsible for preventing a rocket from crashing into the moon? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, it's gonna be one hell of a ride.